Hello out there in wonderful Twitch land. Hopefully we're doing great, or YouTube land if you're watching this later on recorded. Hope everyone's doing okay today, tomorrow, next day, depending on again when you're watching this. Sorry for my video or my picture quality. It looks like my face is super bled out, and I don't know what happened with my webcam. Again, tweak the lights, trying to get it to be better, but no matter what I seem to do, I can't get it to work. And right now, it just looks like my face is glowing. I think it has to do with me wearing this shirt. So I'm going to try a different shirt. Shirt's too close to my natural skin color, so the camera doesn't know what to do. So where were we? Tried to stream yesterday, but for some reason, Twitch was just going crazy, or my computer was. I wasn't able to do anything. I was getting like 2-3 frames per second, which does not make for a good stream. But now we're back to normal. Maybe I just happened to reboot the computer a lot earlier, so everything caught up. So we're here to work on my EventMeetups site. So this is a site that's nice. Thanks, Dave, for joining before I ended. Yeah, I started a little bit later today than I have in the past. We had a late start to dinner, which meant I finished later, and then I wanted to make sure everything was up and running before I got started. So just in time. How's the video, by the way? Does my face look super bled out right now? Like if I'm looking on the stream to the left, which is the quote unquote real time view, my face is super light. But it also changes depending on whether I'm on a bright screen or not. You can see the glare changing. I need to find a way to soften this. It's at the lowest setting it possibly can be. Which is weird because when I use Teams, my picture is super clear, but I guess all the tweaks that OBS did and everything else set it. Little fuzz in the background, a little light. Yeah, the fuzz depends on the camera angle. My problem is my shirt really matches my complexion. So the green screen is really freaking out over it. I gotta not wear this shirt when I stream because it's coming across as one thing, which is why there's that little halo glow around here because it can't tell what the difference is. I'm moving. That helps. I really have been doing this for 7 months now, and trying to get the colors right has just been impossible. Especially because I look at it when I build it based on the screen in front of me, and then it plays on the screen to my right. That's where OBS is set up, and the screen to my left is like the real-time view that viewers are seeing. And each monitor, the light is different, so I can never tell which one is the good one. But maybe this weekend after Christmas, I'll figure out lighting. I've been saying that for a while, but I finished all my honey-do list items, so I might actually start tweaking the lighting. I really think it has to do with the webcam, but I really can't find a webcam that I like yet. Anyway. So site we're building is based off of this older site that I built out called EventMeetups. Right now you see the domain of mvpsummitevents.info. It's one of the many tenants in this site. I built the site for pretty much any conference that you can go and list all the after parties or events that are happening that are outside of just the basic conference stuff. So this is written in .NET Framework 4.5, I believe, or 4.7. I forget. It's quite old. It was in 2012 I built it, and I've upgraded a couple of times, but it's been pretty stagnant for the last 2 years. mostly because I kind of haven't paid attention to it, but I figured I'd update it. It was originally an MVC form. Um, I had the sample app open. The reason why it's closed source right now is because I follow a lot of older things. I was the only one that built it, so there's lots of client ID and secrets and passwords in the configuration file. So this is the first attempt of really fixing it and making it open source. So it was pretty much web forms. There was 7 or 8 different pages. So with this new approach, hey Chris, um, with this new approach, we broke it down, or I broke it down into an API with the corresponding data project. The data project has a SQL implementation in case I decide to change it to like a document DB or Cosmo DB backend. There's a shared domain, and I think in the last session I added the web UI, but then kind of stopped at that point, didn't get any further. Then there was a internal debate on myself, or at least talking to myself on the stream, as to whether or not I wanted to build the UI in Blazor or MVC or Razor pages or what have you. So I opted in to just do Razor pages since it's closer to the web forms, and the user part of the application is really very simple. You know, you can see a list of the pages, you can add a page, edit a page, and then everything else is pretty much static for the most part. So I figured it was a lot easier than doing MVC. For the administrative side of the site, like where I'd manually add in everything, right now I add in everything via just a database. I, do inserts into a database to create new conferences and stuff, but I want to turn that into more of an admin. That one might be an MVC. Yeah, later, Chris. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. Uh, yeah, it has been. I mean, it's if you see the app itself, this is just a list of URLs. So this is controlled by the database. This here is a list of URLs, again, listed in the database. This is one page, the map. Photos is a page. About pages are static. So you got 1, 2, 3 pages that are static. These link to other things. Then you have the home page. So this is dynamic. And if I view more info, this is dynamic. And then if I'm logged in, you can edit it. So there's really only 3 pages to this that a person would ever deal with. And it was, because they're way too heavy or way too complex. So we're going to go and tweak it. Last week, I think it was Thursday when I started, we're trying to figure out the multi-tenancy. And I did a lot of looking actually over the weekend. I had like 14 tabs open and one book I was reading, really didn't find any good examples of it. And what I meant by good examples was one where I can just literally copy and paste. This is the best series I found on it by a guy named Michael McKenna, who had a 5 blog post series on it. That's how complex it was. But in all honesty, it wasn't super complex. He just broke it down into lots of different pieces to make it more reusable. He created a service to get a list of the tenants, and then a service to get data for the tenants, and then a service to get options, and then kind of threw it all together with authentication. So I think I was just going to start with some of the basics. I might go at some point and expand it to all this, but for the meantime, I'm just going to go and look at registering some midware. So when I looked at it, there was this nice blog post, or not blog post, but docs in the MSDN docs. I talked about how you can create your own custom middleware to do it. Now, the basic is to just, do a use and kind of create a Lambda for it, which I don't want to do because I got a funny feeling I'm going to expand it at some point. So I'll probably do something like this, where, we'll do something on the evoke. Essentially, I want to find where, find the URL that was added to it and work from there. And ultimately, we'll add this extension method. So our builder is super simple, just to build, use middleware and put that in. So let's start with the basics for middleware. And I'm going to kind of throw you off to the side here. I can't shrink that too much. Now it kind of shrinks by itself. Cool. And let's get over to you and let's fix you for the bandwidth. Right about there. Oh, David, by the way, yesterday I was looking, actually mostly today, at Twitch Studio, and I couldn't find an online one. What I saw is that you have their beta, which you download, and it looks online. It looks like it's basically an Electron app. What URL did you go to that allows you to just do it straight in your browser? I couldn't find anything, but in all fairness, I wasn't really looking that hard. I spent about 20 minutes on it. I don't think I need you, Windows, so I can close a lot of view. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. When I was first looking at that, I was streaming from my MacBook, and they didn't have the Mac beta for it. They didn't even have a map app. They only had the Windows app, and I didn't want to stream from my Windows PC. So I ended up not doing it. And now I've gotten so used to OBS that I never really bothered playing around with it. I did some reading on it today, and it said that it's pretty much meant for people just starting out, which is totally fine. Maybe I'll update my blog post. I was going to write another blog post, like a updated software one, because I did have changed some of the software in the streaming. I actually have 3 blog posts to write this weekend. Noon CST tomorrow. What do I have at noon CST tomorrow? That is, CST is 1 hour, or 2 hours for me. Is that 1 hour from New York, right? CST? Let's see. I should be able to. Yeah, we're -7 right now. So are you -5? I think that's what Chicago is. -5, because Detroit is -4 right now. Yeah, okay. So that would be news. That would be 9. I could attend the first half hour. So I'll be there the first half hour. I got a meeting at 12:30 with someone on my team for 11:30 New York time. Time zones are rough, man. I wish we just get rid of them. So let's see here. We're gonna create a class. Let's call it multi-tenant something or other. Add new. Where are you? New class. Multi-tenant middleware. I'm just going to complain about this spelling. Oh, the hell I even typed there. Didn't even come close to a real word. Oh well. That's going to annoy me, the spelling, but until I come up with a better name, that's what refactoring is for. So if I look at this, I pretty much need to copy this out. Paste this here and do Alt-Enter to add in all the references. Rename the constructor to that, and we should be good. So the invoke async is what we want to replace. So this is going to be to do determine the let's just start with the host right now. Now the host should be something like www.mvpsummitevents.info or teched.events.info, which means in order for this to work, I need to update my local host so that I can kind of intercept those names. So I might as well go do that. Let's open up Notepad. Run as administrator. Pardon the screen blank for a second. Then we are going to open the host file. So c.windows/system32/drivers/etc/ Oh, look at that. I already had a couple in here. For those of you that don't know, this is a way to override the local DNS of your computer. So like the examples that are built in, everything from here up is kind of out of the box with Windows. The star or the pound sign hashtag tells you that it's a comment. So this is saying if someone wants to go to the rhino.acme.co URL, route them to this IP address. Because, I mean, essentially, whenever you type in a name, oh, nice. Not a lot of people know about this. I do it when I built a lot of the multi-tenant sites like my Code Camp site and things like that. So I haven't actually done anything on this computer, which is why it's there. So I can do 127.0.0.1 and set this to event, or not event meetups. MVP summit events.info. And then oops. Come on, 0.0.1. Teched events.info. I think those are all the ones I have registered. Let me double check. And I'm going to mute for a second and say, I feel like I have to sneeze. Oh, guess not. Let's go and check. Where's my database? Where's my database? It show me. There you go. I think those are only 2 domains. I want MVP Summit Events Info and Tech Ed Events. Yeah. The production one has a lot more. So that's fine for here. For Notepad Go. So let's control save this. And I haven't done this with Writer yet, so I hope it actually works. I know in Visual Studio I had to start it as admin because IIS Express would have to add those ports, but since this is using ASP.NET Core, I don't think that's needed. So we'll try that out when we get to it. I'm going to close all these other close all these other tabs. So from what I read, we get the context. So I can do var hostname equals context dot request dot host dot host dot to lower. Believe that covers it all. And I'm going to put a breakpoint here for now. And then we need to add this to our startup. So I believe that goes in the configure method, right? Configure. And I don't think the registration matters location, but maybe it's not in there. Yeah, it's not where I wanted it. Hey, come on. Middleware Extensions. Oh, I need to do it in the builder. I don't think I'm using builder anywhere here yet. App. Build, yeah. So let's do the middleware extensions. Add new class. I'm going to call this multi-tenant middleware extensions. I really don't like spelling that word. I always get it wrong. For some reason, I always think there's a T in there. And this should just be this. It's the class static. Class is static. Stop it. Huh, I do. Public static class. Oh. Static class, and then let's create the name for it. And then, yes, in. Should be middleware. What did I miss for you? What are you complaining about? Public static, app builder, use middleware, use multi. This doesn't really matter. It's just more of a naming convention. Use multi-tenant middleware. Why is this complete? Oh, I know. Oh no. Why is that complaining? I missed something. Using Microsoft App Builder, namespace, public static class, public static, my application. Oh, duh. I got the class done twice. Copy paste fail, Joe. Copy paste fail. Here we go. I wonder if I can just capitalize this if it doesn't complain. Yes, I'm going to do that. That really bothers me. Every time. Yeah, I can't spell that word either. There's a lot of words that ReSharper has helped me with, and or whatever spelling tool I use, because I have multiple times misspelled words only to have them correct it like that. That's why I add spelling plugins all the time. So this is good. Now I should be able to go to app startup and then just do app.use middleware. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I think I can just do app dot, what did I call it? Use multi-tenant middleware. Yeah. App dot use multi-tenant middleware. And we should be good to go. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to run, but should run. So I got a breakpoint here. Let's debug this and see what happens. I might have to change the ports in the host config. I don't think I have to, but yeah, I guess you can. If we hit our breakpoint here, we did. So what's our host name? Should be localhost. Yep, localhost. So we're good there. And I should probably hit play. Those are running 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Oh, that ran a lot. What if that ran for every single request, which meant all the different files? If we look here, there was probably like 5 different files that downloaded. Where are you? Wrong menu. One day I'll remember the shortcut Control-Shift-I. Oh, look, another request happened. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Fell in the third one. So we go to console, sources, network. Hey, why don't you show me anything? This tab wasn't open. Just do a refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 attempts, and there should be 4 files that were served from here. Zoomed in way too far. Hard to see anything. We got fabric icons. That's only 2 requests. Why did I do it 4 times? Oh well. Let's see if the article says anything about that, because definitely don't want it running once per each file. I want it kind of running once for the main requests. So let's see what you got here. Don't need you Amazon Music, but thank you. This middleware is constructed on app startup, not per request, lifetime scope, use aren't shared with other dependency types during each request. You must share a scope service between your middleware and other types. Add these services to the invoke method signature. Yeah. I think that's the problem. Middleware should follow the explicit dependencies principle by exposing its dependencies in its constructor. Yeah, we'll get there at some point. Problem is, I want to query the database to get the ID for the host and the host info. I don't want to do that on every single request. Definitely overkill. Let's see if there's other ways. I think I looked at this blog post. Well, I know I looked at it because the hyperlink is purple. I think oh yeah, this is the main one that talks about the pipe. Middleware edit pipeline before middleware that terminates further processing. Oh, we can do that. OS where it needs to go in the exact same order, but some do. In some scenarios, middleware will be different order. For example, compression, at least in my words right now. Session middleware establishes and maintains a session state. If the app uses session state, call session middleware, cookie middleware. It's complicated. I guess the order does matter and all that. So let's go and change the order because those static pages should not be there. Let's go back to the code, stop view. Let's go and do this after here. I think we're going to want to do it after routing since the order actually does matter. The reason why I say that is because ultimately we're going to want to know the URL that it determines. So let's see if this only happens once now. I learned something last week when I was streaming. So I have the background, which is a blue background, but it gets cut out. So you see just a silhouette of me. And I had a white plastic cup. It wasn't clear, but it was clearish. And when I pulled it up on screen and I was drinking, it was coming through as clear. I have an actually blue one, which I thought was going to be totally blacked out, but it's not blacked out. So it's kind of weird. The software is smart enough to detect the background is like, around my face. So anything in front of me that's blue is guess acceptable. Ooh, look at that. Got the blue halo going on. Because my light facing me. So let's see. This is the first time this comes. Nice. So order does matter. Mental note. Go. Now we have it here. Cool. So that's there. Let's see if I want to inject the we'd actually have to inject the API, which I don't have any references to the API yet in the project, but ultimately I want to reference a service that just goes out to the API, so I don't have to deal with connections and authentication and everything. So that's out there, but We are here. I could at least test that the host file works and then I'm getting the right name. So if I do event, or not event meetups, MVP summit events.info. What was interesting? Was it the ordering that mattered? Which I guess makes total sense, but I didn't think of that. Let's see. I think I put in www, the actual config, so that might matter. Not secure. Da, da, da. Oh, that's why it's not there. I have to go fix that. I was wondering why I was getting a bullet point. Huh. So that didn't work. Guess about the www. No, that didn't work either. Let's see what I typed in the notepad, which I closed. Yeah, that's definitely very interesting. File open. But I did that. MVP summit events at info. MVP summit events.info. It should redirect to local. Oh, I wonder if I have to do. I don't think this supports ports. Host file Windows ports. I don't think you actually need ports. Using port files. All commands need to be run on administrator. Yeah, I know. Shouldn't have to do that. Shouldn't. Didn't even say ports in this. Where are the ports part? No ports in there. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Let's see what the Stack Overflow says. You need host is for host names only on Windows as well as Unix. You cannot put port numbers in there. There was no way to do that. That host file is for namers, so a combination of the two. Started my server, edit that. Oh, I actually have to add the port. Oh, that would suck. I don't want to have to do that. In the ISS Express, I just configured that port number in here. Actually, maybe. Where is it? This is using those ports. Could edit this file to say not do localhost, port that. So I could get easy and do as a 44383. You can't see that, but I just went to the IAS in my task tray and I could do this, which is the port number registered 44, and I forgot already. 44383, and that should work. No, it didn't work. For whatever reason, it's not recognizing the redirects on my machine. Get events.info. Hope the device spelled TechEd, right? Yep. Let's try this one at 44383. Pretty sure I know why. Yeah, know why this is broken now. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that with ASP.NET Core, but it could just be because I'm using IIS Express. So what I have to do is edit the site.host file or sitehost.xml. I forget the name of the file, but it sits in the directory. It used to be in C program files, blah, 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 but it got moved to, used to be a hidden directory. Where does it sit now? Huh. It used to be a hidden directory under here, .vs. Maybe Visual Studio creates that. Or so the next place to look is in the generic one, which is in C program files. ISS Express. Config. I think it's config. Nope, not config. Should be like a site list here. This app host. Let's see if that one's it. Let's open you with Code Insiders. Way to tell is by looking for the sites. Yeah, this is not the one. This is the template file. Otherwise, it would show the EventMeetups site here and where it's listed. So let's check, see where this physical path is. Where are you? Personal web server. Nope, no directory for that. So last place it would be. It's been so long since I've actually had to do this. It's a good refresher because looks like I forgot. I could try the dreaded search for application host.config. Let's see. Google is usually faster, or Bing is faster searching than me. IS Express application host.config. App data. There it is. So That means it's somewhere documents, ISS Express, config. There we go. I got a funny feeling Writer's launching it from a different spot. Let's go see. Yep, Writer's launching it from a different spot. So let's go and close you. And let's go and check this configuration. Edit configs. No, launch settings. See if there's anything else in here. That's just the environment variables. exe path is fine. So let's hit cancel. Ah, here it is. Duh. Yeah, but those are the profiles. It doesn't go to. That just shows the launch settings. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see. This is the file I'm looking for right there. So that's, crud, Visual Studio is launching. So I essentially want to come here. Oh, Visual Studio is actually launching quicker than I thought. Essentially want to come here. And I already got the location. My memory is shot. Come on. Source.ide.config. Source.ide. I didn't even see that one here. Why are you not showing? Not have hidden files on? Yeah, I should be able to see it. Oh, looking. Path is up here because this is the main project. So it's here. Because there's the project for the API and the project for the web UI. So this is the one I want to change. And let's do search sites and go for the third one. So this is what I want to do. So what you do here is copy and paste this section here and do 80443, and this is you just do event meetups .info and event meetups .info, and if I have it correctly, that should work. Then do the same thing for tech events, tech ed events. And you only really need to register 2, but this just goes to help me do the database lookups now. Might not have caught it, but here IS restarted because the configuration restarted. So now if I debug this, I should be able to get that P out of there. Problem was, you're getting the message saying that the host refused it. So there was nothing running at port 80. This tells IIS Express to run at port 80. Later, Dave. Thanks for joining. Hopefully I actually caught the message before you left. Okay, so this is here, and let's do EventMeetups.info. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I wanted to do MVP Summit events.info. That should go locally. Cool. At least I got that message. MVP Summit events info should go locally. Right, MVP Summit events info. Let's make sure that you are configured to see it. I'm opening up IIS Express again. Yeah, it did not. I think JetBrains rewrote the configuration file for it. Let's check here. Yep. JetBrains rewrote it. So I am going to have to figure out how to prevent that from changing. So I'll do that either tonight or on the next stream. We'll continue this, but at least we got the middleware piece working. Now just get it to work in local development to play around with it. That's all I got for today. Any questions, feel free to reach out to me on any one of the social media things. If you like what you see and watching this on Twitch, hit the follow button. If you like it and watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe. I publish usually 3 or 4 videos a week. Thanks for coming. Have a great day.